Please, oh, please, can you watch out so we can the door?
Zayn Malik just had two very public, very uncomfortable fan encounters, 5 days apart, and the internet cannot agree on who is actually in the wrong here. Because this is not a simple story, and the full context makes it a lot more complicated than the clips suggest. Let's start with the first incident. On May 21st, Zayn was at a Q&A event at Banquet Records in Kingston, London, a small, intimate album preview for his new record, Chronicle. The event had been postponed once already back in April, because Zayn had been hospitalized, so this was supposed to be a proper makeup moment for fans who had waited. Instead, things went sideways fast. According to Banquet Records' own post on X, the original schedule had separate sessions at 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. At 6:15 p.m., 2 hours after the first session was supposed to start, Banquet announced those two groups would be merged into one due to a last-minute scheduling conflict. It's been widely reported that fans online claimed Zayn arrived several hours late, though no official explanation was given for the delay. After Zayn previewed tracks and did the Q&A, he walked off stage, and that is when bottles started flying. Multiple videos circulated on X almost immediately. Pop Bass posted the clip showing an audience member throwing water bottles at Zayn Malik and shouting at him as he left the Q&A. This has been confirmed by multiple video angles. According to Entertainment Weekly, the footage shows Zayn ducking as one bottle passes near his head. TMZ reported that one bottle hit the person standing directly next to him, a member of his team, while Zayn avoided the second. Other video angles showed what appeared to be a woman in the crowd pointing and shouting. As of now, no one has been officially confirmed as arrested. Unverified claims of an arrest circulated online, but neither Zayn's team nor local authorities confirmed anything publicly, so that remains alleged. Zayn did not post publicly about the Kingston incident, and reports from GOTV say he returned to social media afterward, but made no reference to what happened. Then, 4 days later, on May 25th, TMZ published a second clip. Zayn had just performed at the AO Arena in Manchester the night before, which by all fan reports was a genuinely great show. But the next morning, outside his hotel, a crowd of fans had gathered and crowded so close that when Zayn tried to get into his car, he physically could not open the door.
Zayn! You guys, we can't get in the car. Please, oh, please, can you watch out so we can the door? How am I supposed to get in the front seat too? Love you! Can you move please so we can get in the car?
This was confirmed by the TMZ backgrid video. Zayn can be seen clearly frustrated, yelling, "Get the F*** out of the way," before forcing the door open and jumping in. A female member of his team can also be heard trying to navigate through the same crowd chaos. TMZ's own commentary noted he was just trying to protect his space, especially after that unsettling encounter earlier in the week. That context matters, because these two incidents are now being read together, not separately. The reaction online split immediately into two very distinct lanes. The majority of fans condemned the bottle throwing and the hotel crowd. Comments across X and Reddit argued that there is never an excuse for throwing things at an artist, and that this is exactly why celebrities stop doing fan events. One fan subreddit specifically called out people for leaking his hotel location, saying he had no security space because people tracked him down. But a second group of fans were genuinely frustrated, not necessarily at the incidents themselves, but at the broader pattern. Several posts pointed to the Kingston event being hours late, with no official explanation, and fans who had waited for hours suddenly being told they were sharing a merged session. One post that got a lot of traction said, "I was disappointed he was late, but actually attacking him is crazy." That one tweet summarizes the split perfectly. Most people are holding both things at once. A smaller thread went darker, with fans worrying that he is going to end up quitting touring in general. And that fear, that Zayn might use this as a reason to pull back again, is probably what has the fan base most anxious. Here is why that fear makes sense. Back on April 17th, the actual release day for his album, Zayn posted an Instagram story from a hospital bed. He told fans he was unexpectedly recovering after what he called a long week, and that he was heartbroken not to be able to see them. This was confirmed by his own post. where he specifically thanked the incredible hospital staff, including a cardiologist. He did not disclose his diagnosis, and that is all that was confirmed publicly. After that, Zayn reduced his world tour from 31 dates down to 9, canceling the entire US leg and several UK shows. In a statement, he said, "I've been at home recovering and I'm doing well and will be better and stronger than before." This was confirmed by major outlets like Variety and The Hollywood Reporter. So when these incidents happen, they are not happening to someone in their prime stride. They are happening to someone who is already managing a fragile, carefully reduced return to public life. And now, the first two major post-comeback, fan-facing moments have both gone badly. To be fair to the fans who were frustrated, the Kingston scheduling was genuinely messy. Multiple sessions, a late announcement of the merge, and no public explanation for the delay. Banquet Records acknowledged the change, but offered no detailed reasoning. If you had booked a 4 p.m. slot, and you are still waiting at 6 p.m. with no answers, that is a real problem that shouldn't be minimized. And the Manchester crowd, while the blocking was clearly unsafe, may have been a mix of fans, autograph seekers, and photographers. The footage alone doesn't tell us exactly who those people were, or how they found out the hotel location. None of that makes throwing objects acceptable, but the who is in the wrong question in this story genuinely has more than one answer, depending on which part of the week you are looking at. Here is what we can actually verify. We know for a fact that Banquet Records merged the Q&A sessions last minute. We can confirm that 2 bottles were thrown toward Zayn in Kingston, and that Zayn was physically blocked from his car in Manchester. We also know his tour was drastically reduced following his April hospitalization. What is reported, but not officially confirmed, is that Zayn arrived several hours late to the Kingston event, and it currently remains unclear whether anyone was charged for the bottle incident, or whether these moments will affect his future fan event plans. Here is the honest verdict. The incidents themselves are not equal. Throwing bottles is an active safety risk. It doesn't matter how frustrated you are.
There was no need for it. I understand he was late. I get that. And I get it's frustrating if you're actually there. However, no one deserves.
The Manchester hotel crowd is a boundary issue that could have turned physically dangerous, given Zayn had no room to move. Both of these things can be true at the same time as the Kingston event management being genuinely disorganized. But the reason this story is resonating isn't really about any one clip. It is about the timing. Zayn came back to public life quietly and carefully, with a health situation he handled with dignity. And within the first 2 major public fan interactions of that comeback, this is what happened. Whether that damages the comeback long-term is still unclear. The actual concerts have reportedly been great, and fans who attended the actual shows left satisfied. The off-stage moments are the problem. Official verdict. This is a bad look. For the fan behavior, clearly, but also, in a smaller way, for the event management that put everyone in that situation to begin with. Drop your take in the comments. Do you think the backlash against the fans is fair? Or is there more to this story than the clips are showing? And do you think incidents like this will affect how Zayn handles fan access going forward? I want to know what you actually think.